the advertisement of hardware sales is a little misleading with consoles, in particular because they base everything off of NDP figures, which has been known to not be accurate. Nothing.
The lamest question ever.
Yeah, to quote the dude in the back of the car in Pulp Fiction, man, I don't even have an opinion.
So, take it from the guy who liked Geopolitical Simulator 3 to want to talk about sales.
Yeah.
What's next, taxes? But actually, I have a bit of an opinion on it. I think they are a little misleading. I'm not sure who is doing the misleading, but I know they're not really accurate.
Yeah, I don't think it's the companies. I just think the companies are using it for advertisement. I'm talking about like the actual people. Like, how do they know how many units are sold? And in particular, let's take this for PS2 is definitely the best-selling console in history. It's sold, I believe they say it sold 150 million units worldwide. You actually look into the numbers realistically, they sold 150 million units to retailers, but they really only sold 110 or 120 million to actual customers. So that's a huge gap. That's millions of units.
I mean, at that point, when you're talking a difference of, it seems it's a difference of 30 million, but at the same time, you're still talking they sold 110 to 120 million.
Yeah, they're still the top-selling console of all time.
Yeah.
That I agree with, but what I don't...
So what you're saying is basically the numbers are based off what they sold to retailers, not what was actually sold to consumers. Then that would be insanely misleading.
Because you have like Sony coming out and saying, "Oh, we sold 35 million units." Realistically, they probably still only 20 to 25 million people own it. Same with Xbox. Xbox One, they say, "Oh, we sold 15 million or 20 million." Realistically, they still only have like 10 million, right? Maybe that people actually own. So it's like it's always bothered me because they tout these numbers and then Microsoft doesn't anymore because they realize they can't compare. But
Microsoft can't do it.
Which Donovan actually agreed with. That was something that because they're focusing on like user engagement and people who actually are on Xbox Live, and Donovan's like, that's a better idea than touting numbers.
I mean, it's a marketing strategy. That's all it is. I mean, you tell people it targets the people who are undecided on what console they want to get. So they just see this one, this one sold way more than this one. It must, therefore, be better.
Better system.
But that's a terrible way to buy a system.
Well, I mean, you're not talking about the hardcore crowd. You're talking about the people who are, just getting into it, or they don't play games that much, but they want a system so they can play with their friends or whatever. So they're like, which one should I get? And it's like, well, this one sold 35 million, units, and this one sold 15 million. So this one has 20 million more than the other one, so it must be the better one. So I mean, it's a marketing strategy that I'm sure gets them some profit. It tricks some people into buying the console, but for the majority, I doubt it. It's kind of one of those things they probably just keep doing just because it gets them a few more sales.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, you're right. I could see it like that. It's always bothered me. I always like because if you actually look into those NDP numbers, you realize that this is just what Walmart and Target's buying. This isn't what actual people are buying.
It's just like Disney. It's all about the money. It no matter how you get to that point,
Donnie, or Horse Jesus, please hit me with that Bazan line.
Because if it isn't making dollars, then it ain't making sense.
Actually, another point. Now, if they're just going around saying numbers they've sold to retailers, then these little marketing gimmicks could be aimed towards the retailers. Because when retailers, when they see, this one sold this much, well, how much should we buy of this console? Which one should we stock more of? Which one should we buy more of? Which one's selling better?
Which I think is what they were doing. I know Sony always goes, "We've sold this many units to customers" or something like that, and they never really specify which one. And it's just like which we're going to get into this later because This is all I was saying. It's like whenever you look up PlayStation news, almost the only thing you'll find is how many units they've sold. You never get to see what games are coming out. But it's always like, this is how many we sold, and they never specify if it's retailers or actual customers, like people who've owned it. Anyway, but
the retailers are their customers.
Yeah, you're right. That is true. They are their customers, and then Walmart's going to think, oh shit, I need to order, freaking 10 pallets filled with PS4s.
Exactly. That's how they get you.